her best friend, and I get it, because that's how she made everyone feel. I'm not comfortable speaking, obviously. I'm not comfortable speaking in front of people, but I'm so honored to speak to you today. These are some thoughts I wrote down after I received the news and could not sleep. These are things about Sloan that nobody else that I'm friends with. I don't know how to say it. Okay. These are some things I wrote down about Sloan and some things that I think we should all look for in a friend. Find a friend that listens without judgment. Find a friend that shows up. Find a friend that answers her phone no matter what, even if she says, hey, I'll call you back in a second. Find a friend that roots for you. Find a friend that is happy for your kids and wants them to succeed. Find someone like you, someone who shares your same interests. Find a friend you love unconditionally, even if they drive you crazy sometimes. Find a friend that loves you and your family and will never give up on you. Find a friend you can tell everything to. Find a friend that you can't imagine living without. This is Sloan Morris, my best friend and my partner in crime. I love you so much, Sloan. Twice a year.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna.
Okay. Emma, do you want to go next? Okay. So Sloan's daughter, Emma, is going to talk.
Hi. Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Everybody else.
Okay.
Talk, keep it right next to her.
Okay.
It's as far as it'll go.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I just want to say how amazed and humbled I am at how many people are here that knew and loved my mom. But I'm not at all surprised. She truly has never met a stranger, and I think y'all know that. So many people have messaged me who barely even knew my mom and said that anytime they talked, it felt like they knew her their whole life. That just goes to show how intentional she was with each and every person in her life, even those she barely crossed paths with. My dad always says that she was a force to be reckoned with. She was a force, and I say that she was one to be reckoned with, that's for sure. She was fierce and full of life and let absolutely nothing dull her, no matter how hard life got in the way. I'm sure none of y'all were surprised when you got the invite that she wanted to have a party instead of a funeral. She had a way of making every situation into a fun one, even though this one isn't fun for sure. She would definitely want us to celebrate her and how much love she spread. I find comfort knowing that her purpose was fulfilled here on earth, and I can say that with confidence just looking around at all of y'all and how loved she was, and seeing and hearing how much she's impacted everyone here. Before she passed, she told me she didn't want to leave us, and I told her that if she could have this much fun on earth and live such a beautiful life here, I can't imagine how amazing it'll be in heaven for her. I bet she's sitting on the beach with her speaker playing Morgan Wallen as we speak. I know this isn't a goodbye, but rather a see you later, and I know she's waiting for me in heaven with a margarita in her hand. Thank y'all for surrounding us with so much love and being here. We love all of y'all.
Shane Spink, where are you? You're up. You're next.
Hey, I hope all y'all can hear me. I'm going to try to speak loud because I want to speak to everybody here. What I wanted to talk about when I thought about what I was going to say here today is friends. And this room is full of friends. And Greg and I joke about how Sloan had so many best friends, right? And y'all are all her best friends. But when I think about the word best friends, I think about how it moves across your life and how there's so many people that are involved in your life that they are your best friends. And it reminds me when I was a little kid, being a sibling with Brittany and Sloan, how we play outside, we go to the pool, We play in the woods, play in the stream, play records, Saturday Night Fever and Grease in the basement. Those are your best friends when you're little.
Oh, yeah.
Your siblings. As we move into high school, I see a table full of the high school friends over here that she's been friends with for 40 plus years. I see Michelle, I see Trish, I see Kristen, Elizabeth, Timmy Ann, Karen Williams. All these people have been in her life and are still in her life now. And that's a testament of her. We move into our 20s. There's so many people in here we met in our 20s, like Tracy Pounds, Tracy Chapman, other people, Meg and Steve, and there's so many of you guys out here today that were friends with her in their 20s as we moved through her life. But y'all were her best friends. And you know, and I'll say this to the table with the girlfriends over here, y'all know that when Sloan was at school, in middle school and high school, the most important person she hung out with was her boyfriend that she had through the time, and the crushes, always, the crushes in middle school, the boyfriends in high school and after high school. And kind of the ironic thing of all of it is that her soulmate and her best friend was right under her nose the entire time. We met Greg Morris, most of us did, over that table, so many people here, in 1980 at East Cobb Middle School. And let me tell you about Greg. Greg was the best looking, the best athlete, the most well-behaved. Props to Marlon and Elaine for raising a great kid. But he's also the guy that you, as a parent, would want to marry your daughter. Or as a brother, would want to marry your sister. And that's how good Greg is. So I'm kind of trying to remember what I was going to say here after that, but
Keep talking about me.
I mean, I could talk about Greg for an hour about how great Greg is. Greg is one of the best men I know. He's a great man, and yes, absolutely. So the main thing here is that all her friends are here. I don't want to go without saying about my mom, Bonnie, who was Sloan's best friend. Got to work with her for 25 years. Lived near her for about 10 to 12 years. Got to spend all that time with her. She loved you, and then her family, her kids. Her kids were everything to her. They were the most important thing to her outside of vacations. Sloan planned vacations. She was about to go on a vacation. She was planning her next vacation, but it sounds pretty smart about this time, right? She spent a lot of quality time with them, and she loved her boys, and she loved her little Emma. Where's Emma? She loved you. So anyway, I just wanted to go through that light. I don't want to make light of the word best friends, because really y'all all are her best friends, and she had the bandwidth to do that, and only Sloan could do that. And that's really what I wanted to express to you guys tonight. So thank you for coming out, guys.
That was awesome. Thank you, Frank. Marlon Morris is going to talk next.
I really wasn't going to say anything, and I'm Greg's dad, but Sloan was such a special person that I think you've got to say something. When she and Greg got married in 1998, I knew we would hit it off right away. Her late father's name was Claude. My late father's name was Claude. My first name was Claude, and her first name is Claudine. So we had a connection right there from the very start, and from there it took off and became a great friendship, and really not a daughter-in-law type thing, but like a daughter really. But over the years, Sloan has shown several things that really speak to her, was her dedication, her diligence, and her ability to grab anything and run with it. Through her 25, 30 years in real estate, she did very well and was very successful. And as I retired from banking, I had a little real estate company, and she was an agent for a while. And obviously, she was our best-selling agent, and for about 3 or 4 years in a row. Not that we sold a lot of places, but she was the top person in that group. And it got so bad that at the end of each year, I'd write a letter to the other 5 or 6 agents praising Sloan and tell them how good she was and why weren't you that same way. And caught a lot of flack for that, but, you know, that's the way it was. But she never shied away from any venture or anything that was difficult. If it was easy or difficult, she was jumping in there with both feet. I just can't say enough about her. Elaine and I loved her very much, and we'll miss her. And I would just say that she will always be in our hearts forever. Our son Greg is really a terrific guy, and they had a terrific marriage, and their 3 kids joined our other 8 grandchildren. So now we have 11. But all of them are fantastic, and the 3 of them, the boys and Emma, are just great kids. They were raised right between Greg and Sloan, and she did a terrific job as a mother. But Elaine and I do want to thank you for coming today, and I think I've said more than once in the last couple of weeks that if we put all of our friends together over 30, 40 years, we couldn't raise a crowd like this. And I've never seen anybody with friends, close friends, that Greg and Sloan had. Every other week they were doing this, doing that, going on vacation, and occasionally working. But, and I mean that. I think in our lifetime, you know, we couldn't fill a room like this if we gave away more than the food we got here tonight. But thank you for coming, and we will always think about Sloan and have her in our hearts.
It's fun.